Hello everyone, Brett Ellis with the Ellis team at Keller Williams. I wanted to give you our Southwest Florida real estate update post Hurricane Irma. We're getting a lot of questions about damage to the area, insurance, all kind of questions. So let me address some of those right now. First off, we were lucky. We weren't hit too bad. In fact, a lot of what I see is, it's just not that bad. A lot of homes were not damaged at all. My personal home had some torn pool screens. That's about it. I really feel bad for some people though because they're still without power and some trees fell down and maybe ruined their pool cage or in some cases onto a car or onto a house. So that's not good. And there was some flooding, but it was I guess you call it the good kind of flooding. We were really worried about storm surge and we just didn't get much of that. So there's two kinds of flooding. There's the storm surge where the Atlantic Ocean or the Gulf of Mexico or wherever you are can actually rise as the hurricane pushes water inland. We didn't receive any of that. That could have been catastrophic. What we did receive, as is typical with tropical storms and hurricanes, is a lot of rain. And because 2 weeks prior to that, we had an unusual low pressure just sit on us for 4 or 5 days, much like Houston did. We had 18 inches a week or two ago, and then we had another 8 to 10 to 15, depending on where you were in the eye of the storm. The right side of the quadrant seemed to get more rain, the left side a little bit less. But we got all that rain, and then you add to it, it went all the way up Florida, and we have this thing called sheet flow, where what happens in northern Florida eventually works its way down to the state until it works its way out into the estuaries and the rivers and eventually out to the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean and whatnot. So anyway, we did have some flooding, and I know a lot of people who are affected by that, and they're still affected by it, and the waters are still coming because of that sheet flow. So we feel really bad for those people. So one of the common questions we're getting is insurance. Well, there's two types of insurances. You've got your standard homeowners insurance, and then you've got flood insurance. And flood insurance is for basically rising waters. So you kind of want to have that. And I'll tell you about a lesson we learned here in just a minute. And then you've got your homeowner's insurance, which is for like wind, fire, and anything bad that can basically happen to your home. So a lot of people didn't get flood insurance because they thought, well, I don't need it. My mortgage company's not requiring it. I'm in flood zone B, C, D, or E, so I don't need it. Well, much like the people in Houston, they didn't think they needed it either. But when you get rain that just sits on you for days and days, you'll find out that there are some low-lying areas where water can rise. If you got some clogged drains and whatnot, it can do some funny things. And next thing you know, your house has got some water in it. So for those people that don't need it, flood insurance is usually very affordable, maybe $400 or $500. I'd recommend getting it. It's just not that expensive for the exposure that you have. Obviously, if you're in flood zone A or X or whatever, and your mortgage company requires it, you're going to have it anyway. But if you're paying cash, still probably not a bad idea. Homeowners insurance, on the other hand, is going to cover your wind stuff. And we didn't have, like I said, a whole lot of that, unless you had a tree fall into your house or something like that. This wet ground combined with wind allowed some of these trees to just fall over, and that wasn't good. And that's why power's been out so long. These power crews have been coming in from all over the country, and some subdivisions were up within about a day or so. Others, today is Friday, and the hurricane hit on Sunday, so it's been 5 days, they still don't have it. And I suspect there'll be some that go another week or so and don't have it. It's miserable for those folks. I get it. I'd be complaining if I were them too. My only thing is, don't blame the power company because you don't see what they're doing to get to you. They're picking up trees and poles and all kind of bad stuff that's affected that power. They can't just turn it on or they can electrocute people. So they're doing the wise thing. They're working really hard. So if you've got any questions about Southwest Florida, our office isn't open yet. We don't have power there. Our phone number, I'm going to give it to you, is 239-489-4042. If you want to search for property, go to leecountyonline.com, one of the best websites out there. But most of our inventory was probably not damaged. Yes, we'll have a few that maybe had some flooding issues. We'll have a few that had some wind issues, maybe some loose shingles or loose tiles, and some obviously that maybe had a tree do some damage when it fell in the backyard or in the side yard or that sort of thing. So, but by and large, I don't think it's going to affect our real estate market. If we had, say, 5,400 homes on the market, we might have 4,900 that are available. I mean, that's just a guess, wild guess. But we've got a lot of property that was undamaged, basically. So give us a call. Southwest Florida is still a great place. At least with these hurricanes, we get notice, usually 2 to 5 to 7 days notice. With these tornadoes and earthquakes, you don't get that. We've got insurance. We can pick up the pieces. Southwest Florida is doing fine. Yes, there's a lot of people that could use help. The ones that don't have gas, don't have water, don't have electricity. Yeah, it could be a miserable week. No doubt about it. But by and large, Southwest Florida escaped a bullet. We're doing really well. Nothing like the Bahamas and the Caribbean and whatnot. They got hammered. The lower Keys, though, or the middle Keys, those people took it pretty hard. So our hearts are with them, and we're doing everything we can to help them out, as well as our local people. If you've got any real estate questions at all, always call the Ellis team at Keller Williams, 239-489-4042, and have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.